On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
in that nature. But I don't need space when I'm with someone. It's more that when I'm alone and I'm depressed or I'm dealing with someone that passed away and I'm just in my mind mentally. I just like to get away because being confined can be very mentally draining, honestly. But
Any other
Yeah,
ladies want to go ahead?
yeah, I want to jump in on this as well. I much like you, my love language is quality time, but I do like space. I do like a certain amount of space where there is that opportunity to miss my partner. And also just knowing the fact that they have their own goals and are working towards their own things and watching them do that and being a part of that process is really dope. So I think that a certain amount of space is really healthy for me in a relationship. And that way, when we do spend time together, it does feel like actual quality.
I think those trips are reserved for the woman I'm with, and vice versa. I think there are ample opportunities to have a long time, but an entire trip, I've never really done it, and not really my preference. But every relationship is different.
So, JR, are we talking about, from the guy's perspective, are we saying that the guys are we okay with our girl taking a trip and then the girls are saying they okay with the guys taking a trip, or is it just all based off of what women are doing?
That's a great question. Let me just emphasize what I meant by the woman taking the trip. That was the situation that was happening on the Kay
Mm.
and Kayla show, was that she takes trips by herself without her fiance, soon
Mm.
to be husband. So what are your thoughts about it, Anton?
Um, I don't like my girl being by herself in any circumstance. I don't like my girl being by herself where we live at. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just not a fan of that. I don't care about no girls trip. I don't at all. That don't mean nothing to me. And maybe it's just maybe because I've been married so long and I'm super duper secure. I'm not the dude that be trying to chase you and trying to figure out where you at and none of that. I don't care nothing about the find my and all of that other stuff. That's that ain't for me. I ain't got time for that. And I'm out here grinding. I'm getting it. I'm focused. And if I ever have to do that, then I got trust issues in the first place. So I'm not tripping off of none of that. I wouldn't let my girl take a trip by herself simply because I just, it's more of a safety thing. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I don't like her being out by herself. Um, but like if she was going out of town to go visit her mom somewhere or something like that, or a family member or whatever, I ain't tripping off of none of that. Honestly, it just don't mean nothing to me. I dip out personally all the time. I'm on a trip. Last Thanksgiving, I was in Vegas. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm always on a solo trip. But for her, it's more or less a safety thing. It's not necessarily an issue with regard to like if I would think she was doing something or not. I'm not on that at all. Not even a little bit.
Okay. Okay. What about you?
I really agree with what Anton just said. I think that for my man, he would be more so concerned about the safety aspect of the whole thing. It wouldn't be a trust issue situation. But like me myself, I wouldn't want to go on a trip with like by myself without him. I mean, I just wouldn't want to do that. It would be kind of out of character for me because I've never gone on a solo trip. Whereas on our show on Monday, Kira, she does that. Like when they first met, she was a traveler. She does those types of things. So it wasn't like out of character for her. So I think that, why it wasn't an issue. Whereas if I just hopped up like, hey, I'm about to go out of the country for 10 days. My man will be like, what? Because like it's just not something that I do. Or that I've ever expressed any desire to do. So um yeah, I agree with Anton about the whole safety issue thing. I think that my man would be most concerned about that.
Hmm. Go ahead, Anton.
I mean, I'm just wondering if do y'all like the girls? Do y'all have a desire to go on a solo girls trip, or is it like
I
you see what I'm saying? Like, because honestly, I'm on the tip that I'm not trying to be up under my chick 24 hours. Like I spend a lot. My chick be by my side, by my hip. That's my ace. That's my shooter. That's my dog. I always roll with her. It's very rare that you ever see her without me or me without her, right? But we need time apart. Dudes that spend too much time under their chick or girls that spend too much time under they, yo, you gonna have to get some time to miss her, bro, or give her some time to miss you. I think that people need to also, recalibrate and find themselves, as well as, you know what I'm saying, being complete with each other. And I'm all for the whole idea of, yo, you know what I'm saying, take a couple days, whatever, like just say what you're gonna do. Let me make sure you're safe. Let me make sure you're good, and you can rock out. But dudes that spend too much time under their girls, I'm not. That's not me. I'm not that. I gotta get going. I gotta rock and roll. I gotta jump on a flight here and there. I gotta shoot moves. I gotta take care of business. I'm just not the dude that just be sitting up under my chick all day. Like, I love being with my chick. So I'm just curious as to if the women are two questions. Are the women, do they ever, and I mean ever, desire to just get away and do their own thing, A? And then B, what do y'all feel about dudes that's always up under y'all for the majority of the time that y'all together?
Okay, so I can answer both of them because I've taken solo trips when I was not in a relationship, and I think I've taken solo trips because, like, living at home and alone, it's depressing. So it's better that I'd rather be in a beach than be here alone. So like during COVID, I flew to Mexico about 6 times. So why would I want to be confined in this little space where I can be on a beach, on a resort? Um, your second question, I actually like someone up and underneath me. Like my love language is quality time and touch. So I like that lovey-dovey type of stuff. But if my partner needs mental space, I'm understanding in that nature. But I never really need I don't need space when I'm with someone. It's more that when I'm alone and I'm depressed or I'm dealing with someone that passed away and I'm just in my mind mentally. I just like to get away because being confined can be very mentally draining, honestly. But
Any other
Yeah,
ladies wanna go ahead?
yeah, I want to jump in on this as well. I, much like you, my love language is quality time, but I do like space. I do like a certain amount of space where there is that opportunity to miss my partner. And also just knowing the fact that they have their own goals and are working towards their own things, and watching them do that and being a part of that process is really dope. So I think that a certain amount of space is really healthy for me in a relationship, and that way when we do spend time together, it does feel like actual quality.